So I was going through some of my stuff, and I came across something that I'd almost forgotten that I had. And it's this goofy thing. I think I spent $12 on it or something. And this is the kind of stuff that almost scares me to see. It's a pocket knife. It's a flashlight that comes out of this little deal, and there's your ferro rod. It's also got one of them seatbelt cutters and a glass breaker. Oh, and don't forget the bottle opener that cuts into the blade so far that if you went like that, if it didn't break here, it'd break up there. Partially serrated. Some of the poorest quality steel that I've ever seen on a knife. Was it worth $12? No. There's the blackening of the blade where I was striking the ferro rod. Now what's cool about this ferro rod, yeah, this is all compacted and everything, and I have seen versions of this knife, you know, different companies that are way up there. They were really nice looking and really cool and even made out of good steel, but something that I didn't like about them was they had this disc on the back and a screw that went into the blade like this, like a knot in a piece of wood. It'll break right across there. I've had it happen to me on a Smith & Wesson type knife. This is a toy. The idea of having this as your only tool in a survival situation is scary. It absolutely has no place to strike a ferro rod, so I just used the teeth, and it can throw a spark. The bad thing is the metal's so soft that the edge bends around, and you're throwing sparks, and instead of going down, you know, down into your tinder pile, I was just messing around with it over there, it'll send sparks that way and that way, every direction but right up into your face. Oh, and because it starts flopping around, and if you don't get it just right, like I just run it between these teeth right here, it did one of these joggers and flew off into space. You don't have enough grip on that thing. You know, I mean, not to say that a ferro rod like this is useless, but they usually have something of a string or lanyard that you can, you know, hook your finger through when you're doing that. So, you know, you're gonna lose your ferro rod if this is your only deal. I mean, it's kind of nice to have the little flashlight if you're trying to go around your pack, and if you're just cutting string, it'd probably be fine once you put a decent edge on it. It'll barely sharpen a pencil right now, and I had a decent edge on this, and just in the little bit that I've been messing around with it once I found it, it's already dulled. So this is not really a review, it's a warning on gimmicky survival items. You know, they're fun. It might be something that you'd give a kid to play with, and then, you know, it's not a big deal if he loses. You know, it's better that he lose this rather than a $20 blast match or something, if they even go for that anymore. But anyways, that's just a review of the Ozark Trail Wonder Knife, I guess we'll call it.